Hey folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Dom. This is Rockin' the Country. I'm reacting to a song by one of my secret favorite artists, Courtney Patton. I was introduced to her a few years ago through the channel, and she's just the consummate professional. And Roger Smith made a gift for me to do this, and the song is Electrostatic. And so first, Roger, thank you for this gift. And Roger said Courtney wrote the song during a Texas storm after her sister passed away. Roger lost his mother last week and thought this would be appropriate for his mother. So we're honoring your mother. Courtney's married to Jason Eady. I did not wear this shirt just because I wanted to wear straight white in honor of your mother. Whether that has heavenly connotations, anybody can decide for themselves, but that's what I did rather than, but Roger sent me a Jason Eady shirt. Courtney's married to Jason and all, but Electrostatic, I don't know the song. And Roger, of course, I'm sorry that you lost your mom. I don't know the circumstances. We all have those. I lost my mom 4.5, 5 years ago after taking care of her. I was more prepared for it because I took care of her for 2 years in her home. But it's still, it's a change. It's a big change, It's just, and some are more painful than others. So my condolences, of course. And I'm not going to rate this one. I'm just going to let it be in honor of your mother. Okay, here we go. That's Electrostatic. Long drawn out note.
Not created nor destroyed, I never felt you leave this place, though I long to see your face one more time. But what would once more grant me but an endless case of wanting for a ladder to your cloud so I could climb?
Yeah.
Did you know that trees have children and a language of their own? And when one of them is wounded, it can cry. Fires might emblazon and the mighty wind might weaken, but we build with what they leave us when they die.
Yeah.
What if all that energy was just you trying to reach for me, electrostatic sideways in the night? I'd never seen you storm before. When I turned my back, you reached some more. You waited for the timing to be right.
This is where country is so different than any other genre. This.
I wish I'd planted you with sunshine and the seeds of yellow flowers, so you could spend your hours growing slow. But my grief was just too damn deep. I walked for days in awakened sleep. We boxed you up and dropped you down below. What if all that energy was just you trying to reach for me, electrostatic sideways in the night? I begged for God to show me all his rage on display before me. There you were, and the darkness turned to light. It turned to light, turned to light. Turn to light. It turned to light. Turn 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 to light from me. Electrostatic sideways in the night, in the night, in the night, in the night.
Can be a powerful way of reaching out. Yep. There's so many implications. All right, so there's a theory that among physicists and mathematicians and such and cosmologists that the amount of energy in the universe doesn't change. It doesn't get added to, it doesn't get subtracted from, it just morphs from one to the other. So you release a nuclear bomb, it's this release of energy. It doesn't add energy to the universe, though it was already there. It just assumes a different form. And so this plays into like the atheist, religionist debate. You know, is there an afterlife? What would it be like? These sorts of things. That when somebody dies, well, there's energy in the body. What happens if the energy in the universe doesn't change? Then there's energy in me now. Like, where does that go? And that's partly where people have come up with an idea for a soul or a spirit or some other entity that sort of lives on that we can't see once the person dies. But then you look at electricity, and I mean, it's obvious that she's smart because you said that Courtney wrote this. And so if this is one of the things where she just sat down and wrote this on a piece of paper, I don't know if it would have been written instantly, how much research was done, but even terms like electrostatic and just conceptualizing the way in which the lightning is coming across the sky. And is it just you trying to reach out to me? You got to have some kind of background. That's not just, those thoughts just don't come to you without having some kind of education behind it. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But as far as the energy goes, I mean, lightning as well, like, I think it's like 90% of lightning is cloud to cloud. And which would mean that 10% is either cloud to ground or ground to cloud. I'm pretty sure it's up, down the way it works. And, you know, the charged particles in clouds, they tend to bond in big segments, positive or negative. And then once it's big enough of a charge, once it passes over a spot of the ground that's, I think, got the opposite charge, it makes that connection. And decades ago, I'd heard that like a lightning bolt like an average lightning bolt, if it could be harnessed, has enough power in it to power New York City for like 3 days. But then, I don't know, so years later, I mean, I do a lot of reading and I listen to seminars and I'll pick up on tidbits of information or talk with people who know their stuff. And it's like, well, it's a different kind of electricity. It would need to be converted. First, you'd have to harness it. If you could harness it is the premise. If you could harness a lightning bolt, first off, I think lightning bolts are something like 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. I think they're the equivalent heat-wise of the surface of the sun. And so you'd have to have some kind of material that wouldn't melt. Then you'd have to be able to store it, and it happens so quickly. Would you have like batteries or whatever would keep it? But it has to be converted. And I think whatever. It's still one of these concepts where you look at the lightning and then you just imagine, well, in Courtney's case, could that be my sister reaching out to me? And I think if you were so powerful to create a lightning bolt, you'd hope that there'd be other ways in which it could communicate. But that's the frustrating part of human beings and the creative mind is you can't, like, let's say there is this afterlife where people go to heaven immediately, but there's no way of communicating with them for the most part, you know, no solid basis anyway that most people have. It's not like talking to a friend in the grocery that you run into somebody in the grocery store. It's really more, it happens alone and it's a product of imagination. And is it real or not? I don't judge people who think it is or who don't. it's hard getting through this world when you lose somebody. So, yeah, Roger, I said I'm not going to rate that one, and I'm not. It is, though. It's these thoughts actually provide some kind of comfort as we're trying to make sense of loss. This kind of loss, the death of a loved one, is very difficult to process. It's just because we don't fully know what it means. We have beliefs and ideas, but the bottom line is it's just sad. It just, there's that part of you that's gone, and then another part that lives on, especially when it's our mother. Mothers who are attentive, caring, loving, not perfect, no mother is, but as long as you knew they had your back, that carries on in you the rest of your life and probably gets passed on to your own kids. So there it is, Roger. I'm not rating that. That goes in the unrated playlist for this very reason. I'm not rating it. So there it is. Okay, folks. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep rocking the country.